Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you can see by the title, which I haven't decided yet, I'm just going to be trying out a bunch of new makeup. All of it is high-end makeup, so I wanted to put that in one video. If you guys want a drugstore video, I have a lot of those already. But we have a lot of new products, to the market, new to me, so let's just get started and I'll let you guys know if they're worth your money or not. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, by the way, I do have a lip plumper on, so my lips should be getting ginormous. I always get questions about it. It's the Grande Lips, and I just use the clear one from Gerard Cosmetics, and it works really, really well. 99% of these things are like literally new, and then I have a couple of products that are new to me that I figured why not just try it out in this video. So the first product I wanted to try is actually a face oil. So this is the ELEMISSuperfood Facial Oil. Elemis did send me some products, none of this is sponsored, but I saw a girl on TikTok use this as like an under eye primer before her concealer, and apparently it's like her go-to, so I wanted to try it out with a concealer that I know and love. I'm literally just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand, one drop, because I also don't want it to get like greasy, but it is like thicker actually. So let's go ahead and tap that, and while we do our foundation, I'll just let that sit. I do have drier skin, and I also do tretinoin, and I just went up to tretinoin 0.05%, so I'm a little dry. Maybe I should put a little bit right here because I've been peeling a lot right here. Let's move on to foundation. So this foundation, I did already do a review on it, but if you haven't seen it, I figured let's put it in this video because it is brand new. So this is brand new from SAIE, and now that I think about it, where's the name? It's called the Glowy Super Skin Foundation. I have the shade 15. All you ever need is like half of a pump to one pump. This is like 3/4 of a pump. This is extremely liquidy and very hydrating and glowy, but it's not greasy. Sometimes when things are like too glowy, they tend to be greasy and thicker. And so this is just like what dreams are made of. For a person that likes glowy makeup, medium coverage, lightweight, non-greasy, hydrating, looks great. They did come out with a brush for this foundation. It is a nice brush if you're looking for a new like buffing brush, but I will say I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you have to get this. It works just fine with your fingers or with another brush, but if you are interested, it is a nice brush. It does have a lot of skincare benefits in it, and a little bit goes such a long way. So I do think I can justify the price because I don't even know if I'm ever gonna run out of this foundation because you have to use literally half of a pump. Pricey, but I do think it's worth the money if you like the foundation, and I think it's beautiful. And this is the finish of it. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's almost like undetectable as well. I mean, if you do a full face of makeup with this, you can like glam it up, but if you're just wearing this, I feel like my skin just looks perfected and glowy, but it almost looks like I am not wearing foundation, which is great. You have brand new blushes. They are cream blushes, and they did also, this is from Sigma by the way, they did also send some brushes. I don't think the brushes are new, but I think that they're very compatible with the blushes. It's the F47 Multitasker as well as the F53 Air Contour and Blush. Let's use a stippler for the blush and maybe use this for bronzer. So we don't have a new like cream bronzer. We're going to be using the LYS bronzer stick in the shade Harmony, my favorite bronzer, cream bronzer ever. It's literally the best. It's just the creamiest thing ever. This is very interesting because it feels like a thicker brush, but it's not like extremely dense. Kind of nice because it has a lot of brush hairs, but it's like soft. It really moves around the product really nicely. So far I am liking this brush. Sigma Beauty creates very high quality brushes. They are not cheap, but they do last a very long time. I do like to do concealer before cream blush. So I'm gonna use a concealer that I know and love to test out this little facial oil that we put underneath. So I'll be using the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 50W. It's truly one of my holy grails now, it's great. So far it looks beautiful. I was worried that maybe that oil would break apart the concealer, but it's not. I mean, this concealer always looks beautiful on its own, but it does look like extra radiant. We will definitely test it out more once we set our under eyes, but so far I am enjoying that little facial oil. Now, Sigma did send these to me in PR, just for full disclaimer. Again, nothing is sponsored. I do have the whole collection. So here are the shades. Starting from this one over here, we have the shade Pashmina, Marley Wind. This is Coral Dawn. And this one is Cor de Rosa. So here are the shades. They look very, very thin and very dewy. I wish they would have had maybe one more deeper shade because these are pretty light. And again, we're gonna be using this brush. Let's try out this little nude shade real quick. This one again is Cor de Rosa. Ooh, this looks pretty. It actually picked up a little bit more pink and a little darker on my cheek, so I love that. This is very, very dewy, but they're very, very thin. And they do give a glow, but they're not sparkly at all. Like, they're just extremely dewy. This is called Coral Dawn on the other side. They're actually very, very similar. This one is just a little bit more coral, but I will say I don't think you need both shades. If you like these shades, but you just need a little bit more of a neutral undertone, definitely try that first one. If you want the coral one, get the coral, but I definitely don't think you need both. So this one is the shade Pashmina. This is definitely more pinky. Oh yeah, see how this is a lot brighter? Obviously we're mixing them, but just so you guys can get a feel for all of them. This one's a lot brighter and a lot more pinky. It's actually really, really pretty. Now let's try the darkest one, which is in the shade Nearly Wild. This is more of like a reddish, rustic shade. I think my favorite shades are definitely the last ones that I used. But obviously I do have medium skin tone. The other ones are pretty. I just, like I mentioned, I don't think you need both, but these are a little bit more different. I'm gonna add a little bit of this dark one on the other side just to kind of balance it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. First I'm gonna set my under eyes and my eyelids and around the pore area with the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom powder. Okay, and before I set the rest of the face with a different powder, my under eyes are looking really, really good. That Huda Beauty powder is pretty drying, and my eyes don't look dry at all. Right now, I actually don't have any creasing, so so far, made it not dry, and my under eyes don't feel tight at all. So super impressed with this. Not cheap, but if you have the budget, so far I'm loving it. I'm gonna set the rest of my face with a powder foundation, really just because it's brand new. I did do a whole review as a foundation with this powder, so if you're interested in that, I will leave it up here. This is the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Foundation. They did reformulate this, and it is my favorite powder foundation of all time at this point. I'm using the shade 2Y30. The shade 226N also works pretty well for me. As a foundation on its own, it is gorgeous. Like, if you're looking for a matte foundation that is not drying, this is great. Like, it truly is not drying. I was literally wearing this foundation in Colorado in the snow, and again, I have normal to dry skin, and it looks beautiful, it wears beautiful, it gives you like medium to full coverage, and I freaking love it. So just letting you guys know, if you haven't tried it, check out my review and my wear test, but if you do have it, don't you love this? I just realized we had another cheek product to try out, but it is a liquid. It's a Ciate Dewy Blush. Maybe we could put this on at the end of the video just in case our makeup gets ruined. And then if it's not ruined, then we'll know. I did want to try this out though while we're here. It is the Ciate Bronze Glow Shimmering Lip Oil. I don't know if this is brand new or not. They did send it to me in PR. They sent the shade Brazilian Glow. This is what it looks like. Oh, I think it's clear. It's clear and it has a little bit of shimmer. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. This is nice. I literally just used what I put on the back of my hand, and this actually feels like a lip oil. I feel like a lot of things are marketed as lip oil nowadays, and if you want something that actually feels like a lip oil, this is it. It smells kind of like coconuts. It smells like coconut oil. The shimmer is not very noticeable. To be honest, I wouldn't have known there was shimmer, but I will say just the glow, the glossiness, the feel, it's really nice. It's very lightweight, but because it's oily, It feels very nourishing and it smells really nice. So I'm loving that so far. As you guys can see, now that I have set with powder, that blush is very faint. So, which is fine, that happens a lot. My overall review of these is that if you're looking for a very dewy, very natural looking, very thin formula, I think you would really like this. I think that this would also look really nice on bare skin because it has more of a medium pigmentation. I think if you put it on bare skin, it wouldn't look like weird, you know, like you're wearing a lot of blush. I think this would be really nice to just give yourself a little bit of flush, a little bit of dew, but it also looks pretty with makeup. I just don't know how these would work over powder because they are so dewy, but overall, I do think that they're really pretty. I wish there was one darker shade, but I do like the shades that they came out with. So that is that. I went ahead and put some brow gel on my brows, and by the way, I didn't mention, but these brushes that you see with the pink handle are the new Sigma X Christine Dominique. She is a very famous YouTuber. I really like all her content, and I did get the whole collection, and I really like it. I've been using it for a while now. They're really nice brushes. The handles feel really nice. They feel like a soft matte, and as you guys can see, I've been using the heck out of them. I even love this one. I forgot to kind of do like a full review on this, but if you're interested, they're super pretty. I do think that if you're looking for a new brush set and you want to also support another influencer, these are really nice. I'm using the Sigma Matte Bronzer to bronze. I'm putting on the ColourPop, the new blush in the shade New to You with the brush in the shade, or in the name Face Contour. I just wanted to add a little bit more blush because you guys know I love blush. So we have quite a bit of eyeshadow palettes to pick from. First we have one from SAIE London, and this one is called the 9-piece eyeshadow palette in the shade Olive. Don't mind my nails. This looks really pretty. And then we also have some from Sigma. This one is in the shade Beachy. This one is in the shade Earthy. This one is in Electric Pink. This one I've used and it's really nice. This one is in the shade Jewels. Should we just do like a full blue look because we have blue? I feel like this Jewels one is pretty. Should we just try this and have some fun with it? I'm going to use the shade Cushion and just put that as my transition shade all over the lid. Then I grabbed the shade Smoky Quartz, and I have to say this was way more pigmented than I was anticipating. As you guys can see, it'll get a little messy. I kind of wish that there was like a more of a medium tone shade. I did use the shade Fire Opal to kind of blend it out even more and make it a little bit more of like a reddish tone. Then I applied the shade Rose Quartz to my lid just to see it, and to be honest, it was a lot darker than I thought, and it was a beautiful like muted lavender shade. And on top I decided to wet my brush and use the shade Malachite as my lid shade. Then I just blended it out with the shade Smoky Quartz. I did use the transition shades on the lower lash line and then added a little bit of Fire Opal and Smoky Quartz as well. And then for the inner corner, I wanted to try something different, so I used the shade Canary, and it is a beautiful, beautiful canary yellow shade. But to kind of tone it down a little bit, I used the shade Coral. I did do a little bit of baking because this look ended up a little bit messier than I thought it would because I didn't realize how much pigment these shades have. I have used a different version of this palette and I didn't have that issue. So I do think it's my fault if it looks a little bit on the messy side. The shades are pigmented, blendable, really nice. I do really like this jewel tone palette. For eyeliner, I'll be using the brand new Urban Decay 24/7 inks. I do have a sponsorship with them on Instagram, not on YouTube. I'm not getting paid for anything in this video. But obviously, I really like these eyeliners. That's why I accepted the sponsorship. They have a really nice shape to where you can like grab them really, really well. You do have to shake them, and they do have a brush tip, which is my favorite. They're super pigmented. They're easy to use. They have a lot of beautiful shades. If you want to see more of the fun shades, definitely go look at my Instagram. But today, I'm just going to use the black shade called Zero to create a winged liner. All right, I applied some L'Oreal Telescope mascara. I wanted to see if we could try out this little cheek tint. Again, if it ruins the look, it's okay. I'm gonna wet my face really quickly with a little bit of Fix Plus just so we can give it a chance. This is from SAIE. It is their Dewy Blush Cheek Tint. It's in the shade Pomegranate and it looks really, really pretty. It also just happens to be a jewel tone. One of the Kristen Dominique's blush brush, and let's see what we can do. See, that's working out. And when you do apply it over like powder, these cream blushes sometimes are a little bit more pigmented. It is dewy, but it's not overly dewy. This is actually really, really pretty. I actually really like that. So we can definitely try it out in a different video with only cream products, but so far it actually looks really pretty over powder. So I'm gonna finish off my lips. I'm gonna take this lip oil off. It's still there, it still looks pretty, still hydrating, but it definitely has faded a little bit, but I do actually really like it. I think that if you're really into an actual lip oil, you really are gonna like this. I use the tiniest amount, so I do think that this little squeezy bottle is actually a really good amount of product. So for my lips, I used the Gerard Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Sugar and Spice, and I did use again that SAIE Bronzy Glow oil, and as you guys can see, it looks stunning. Alrighty guys, so that is the end of the look. I am looking very different than I'm used to, a lot of color and a lot of dew, but I really did enjoy all these products that I tried out. I wanted just to mention that even though I put powder and I baked under my eyes, this oil really did keep my under eyes super hydrated. So I know it's expensive, but if you're gonna use it like I am, it's gonna last you a very long time. So I hope that this video was helpful. I will link everything that I used down below. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will also link the videos that I mentioned in this video down below if you need more reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!